Hello bookworms! Today I'm going to be sharing my March book haul. I literally just got back from vacation. I had a whole bunch of books to open once my mail got delivered. So funny thing, I didn't buy as many books as I normally do this month, but I did have a lot of pre-orders for special editions come in, so it seems like so much, but I really did not buy much myself. But I'll point out the ones that I did and you'll see. But I do have a lot to share with you, so let's just go ahead and get into it. So usually I start with special editions, but I just have this one set that I really want to share first because I'm so excited about it, and it's this HarperCollins reprint of the Lord of the Rings edition. I have been looking for the cloth bounds of these for so long, years and years and years. They were ridiculously priced on eBay, and Harper decided to reprint them, so thank you so much to them for that decision because they made my life easier. I ordered my copies from Blackwell's. They are slightly different than the originals, some of the coloring is slightly different, but even still, I'm just so happy to have these. If you can see, they actually make Tree of Gondor on the spines, and then I will now show you the covers. So first we have the Fellowship of the Ring, then we have the Two Towers, and finally we have the Return of the King. And once again, I am just so thrilled to finally have these books or have something very similar to the ones that I've been looking for. These make me immensely happy. Next up, I have Empire of the Damned by Jay Kristoff. This is the Illumicrate edition. I really love the editions that they've done for these books. I think that they're just absolutely gorgeous, and I have not read the first book yet, but I decided to take a chance on the second one, and on the off chance that I read it and I don't like it, I can always sell it, but I'm really hopeful that this will be a favorite for me. And then it is also signed by Jay Kristoff. Next up, also from Illumicrate, I have The Prisoner's Throne by Holly Black. This is the conclusion to the Stolen Heir duology, and it matches the rest of the books that they've done for the Folk of the Air trilogy, as well as the Stolen Heir, which is the first book in the series. Absolutely love this one because I just love the fox on the cover. They also have really lovely sprayed pages. The back is really gorgeous, and then this is the spine. It does also come with a dust jacket, which I don't have near me. I don't keep them on these. I think that they look really nice without them. I'm not sure if they're in frame. Ooh, they might be just out of frame, but the rest of them are right here on my shelf. Then I've got the Fairy Loot edition of the Atlas Complex by Olivia Blake. I really hemmed and hawed about getting this one because I loved the Atlas 6, then I hated the Atlas Paradox, and I am really not sure how I'm going to feel about the Atlas Complex. And I had to order it before the book came out, so I couldn't read it beforehand. But again, I'm hopeful that I'll like it. I'm hopeful that it'll go back to the roots of the first book. The sprayed pages are really beautiful. Back, and this is the spine. The naked hardcover, I really like the spine of as well. And then this one is signed as well. Okay, then I got a completed series of special editions, and I actually got 2 of them. So this right here is why it looks like I got so much. But again, these were ordered last year in the summer, and they just both happened to come in the same month. So I'm going to start with the Bookish Box versions of the Percy Jackson series. I really love these. They're very faux leather bound. I love the gold foiling. They kind of give that dark academia, ancient Greek kind of feel. And I think that they're so amazingly done. And then these are the sprayed pages. I think that these are also really beautiful. I like that they capture little scenes from nature. They're not interconnected, but I think that each piece of art chosen really matches the vibe of the story. So the first one, there's also these really cool metal book corners, which I've never had on special editions before. I've seen them on older books, but never on newer ones, and I really think that it adds a lot to them. They're super, super pretty. And then this is the backing. Also the end papers on these are gorgeous. And then this one is also signed. And look at that first page. Next up is Sea of Monsters, and then we'll just show you the backing of this one. And then end paper. This must be a digital signature because I can't imagine that Rick Riordan signed all 5 of these for every single set. Then we have book 3, The Titan's Curse. This is the back. All of the end papers actually align with the sprayed pages. And again, I'm guessing digital signature. I think the first one is actually signed because that was different and it was much shorter. Then we have book 4, Battle of the Labyrinth. Here is the backing. Here's our end paper. And finally, Percy Jackson and the Olympians, which is the final book in the series. Here is the back. Here's the end paper. And then while we're talking about Percy Jackson, I also had the Illumicrate edition of Percy Jackson arrive. I ordered these a couple months apart. They both arrived during the same month, so again, this is 10 books right here and really did not buy all of them this month. These are all of the spines. These ones I actually think are super beautiful without the dust jackets on them, and that is really like what pushed me into getting these. And then these are the sprayed pages. I actually like the sprayed pages a lot better on the Bookish Box versions. I think that the Bookish Box ones look more like grown-up ancient Greek, definitely fit with my bookshelf more, whereas these are very colorful. They're definitely reminiscent of like a middle grade style, which it is a middle grade series, so that does make sense. But I think the sprayed pages are a little bit cartoonish. So first up we have The Lightning Thief. This one comes with a note and is signed. So again, it must be digital. And then this is without the dust jacket, which I think is so much better. I'm definitely going to put these without dust jackets on my shelf. Then we have Sea of Monsters. This is such a beautiful colored blue. I love it. It actually looks like the Song of Achilles 10th anniversary edition because it's also like gold with it. So pretty. Then we have the Titan's Curse. I also really love this one. This one actually looks like a Illumicrates edition of Circe and Song of Achilles, funnily enough, with the green and golds. But yeah. Number 4 is Battle of the Labyrinth. This orange just screams like Percy Jackson and Camp Half-Blood to me. And finally, The Last Olympian. And this one, of course, is red. Don't know what I'm gonna do if both of these companies decide to continue going with the series. I think overall, I like the Bookish Box ones better, but I do need to keep reading to make sure that I want to continue buying the books in the series. And when I say that, I mean like going on next to Heroes of Olympus, because I know that there are the 2 new Percy Jackson books, but I know that you have to read the other stuff before you go into the new ones. Next up, I have the Dragonsteel leather bounds for Mistborn Era 2. These are the only ones that have been released so far, and they're sold as bundle on the website, which is very convenient. First up, we have The Alloy of Law, and then we have Shadows of Self. I read this one in March, so you'll get my full feelings soon when I do my wrap up. And I actually already started reading Shadows of Self on my plane ride home, so I'm like 30% into that, and I think I should finish this week before the end of the month. We shall see. I love these. I think Dragonsteel does some of the best special editions ever, and they have gilded pages. I'm just so pleased with them. I'm excited to add these to my shelf, and I'm excited that I'm really enjoying this series. And then speaking of Brandon Sanderson and Mistborn Era 2, I also picked up The Lost Metal, which is the 4th and final book in Mistborn Era 2. This was the only one that I was missing. I have the first 3, so now I can read the 4th one, and I will get the leather bounds whenever these ones are released. Then I got the Broken Binding edition of Green Rider by Kristen Britton. This is a really pretty edition. I really like the green pages. They're very vibrant. The book is actually blurbed by Robin Hobb. It says, an excellent book with a strong heroine and a compelling adventure. I know like you really can't go off of blurbs because there are often times when the people blurbing have not actually read the book, but I did read the synopsis. I thought this sounded really good and I thought I would take a chance on it. I initially decided not to get it, and then when the Broken Binding did their leftover sale, I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna go for it. And I believe it's a 6-book series, so I want to read it before they potentially do more books in the series. And then this is it without the dust jacket. It's so, so pretty. And the end papers are gorgeous. And then it's also signed by the author in green pen that matches the pages. Then I have the LitJoy special edition of Coraline by Neil Gaiman, and I'm so excited to have this one in hand. I showed you guys Stardust recently, and I just think they did such a fantastic job, so I was really excited to get Coraline, because Coraline is one of my favorite Neil Gaiman books ever, and I'm just so excited. I love the sprayed pages. It has the buttons on it. The back says mirrors are never to be trusted. So what I initially showed you came in this beautiful slip case, and it actually opens. So again, you have the little buttons there, very creepy. And this is full of color illustrations. It's one of the end papers. Again, I just think LitJoy has been doing such excellent editions. Love the chapter headers. There's Coraline. That's creepy, love it. So I'm really looking forward to rereading this and to reading this edition specifically. Next up, I have the Fairy Loot edition of Iron Flame. I have not yet read this book, but I am excited to do so. I did enjoy the first one enough that I want to continue, obviously, since I have this book. I love the naked hardcover. It is so cool. I love the dragons on it. It's amazing. And then this is the spine. There's nothing on the back. End paper. And it is signed by Rebecca Yarros. And then this one also has an alternate dust jacket. And this is the dust jacket that I have facing out on my other edition. So I'm going to rebend this one so that it matches what I have on my shelf. Next up, I finally got the next 2 books in the Expanse series by James S.A. Corey. And when I say the next 2, I mean the special edition versions. So first up, I have Caliban's War. And then next I have Abaddon's Gate. So these are special editions that Orbit Books, the publisher, has been releasing themselves. They're really lovely. I like that they're so accessible for people who are looking for special editions but not looking to spend like $1 million on them or have to worry about international shipping. You can just get these like at any bookstore or on Amazon or wherever you shop for books. They both have sprayed pages. The spines are beautiful metallic. The first book in the series, Leviathan Wakes, has a neon pink color scheme. I was really hoping that this would continue with neons, but I still really just love the designs of these. So this is underneath. This is our end paper. And then below the dust jacket actually has the art from the original cover. And then this one is Abidjan's Gate end papers. These are actually like highlighter orange, but they're looking darker in my video. And again, the artwork from the original cover. I'm so glad that they continued doing these because I feel like so many publishers have been like, here's a special edition of the first book and you will never hear from us again. But Orbit has been doing these, and judging by them doing the second and third, I would assume that they're going to continue on with the series too. It did take a while between books, but that's fine. We don't mind waiting. Very excited about these. Then I got the Waterstone special edition of Medea by Rosie Hewlett. I really like this one. I know I showed it in a news video and a lot of you guys said that you liked the Goldsboro version better. I personally like the Waterstones version better, so that's the one that I went for. These are the sprayed pages. I might display this one pages side out. This is the back, and then this is the spine. Even just the regular spine is really pretty. And papers. And this is, of course, a Greek myth retelling. Then I got the Fairyloot edition of Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. I really enjoyed this book. It was about people who create video games, and it was like kind of technical about the games, and that's really like the portion that I enjoyed the most. Though it seems like a lot of people really love this book, and it's funny because a lot of people are like, I loved it despite not liking video games, and I'm like, I loved it because I love video games. But these are the sprayed pages. This is the backing, and then this is the spine. And then under the dust jacket is so cool, and the end papers are amazing. They're actually like the start screen for the game, which is just awesome. And then once again, it is signed. This is the game ending screen. Next up, I was so excited to get a physical copy of Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dimian. I'm so excited to read this one. It's supposed to be really humorous. I absolutely love the synopsis, and I've heard people just raving about it. It's the first in a series. I think there are about 5 or 6 books that are currently, or maybe 4 or 5 books that are currently out. So I'm really hoping that I'm going to enjoy it and that I will continue on, but I thought that this would be like a light, fun fantasy read to read in between some of the really long fantasy that I've been just immersed in. This one follows a guy named Carl who is on like a television show where the apocalypse is being televised, and he's basically trying to fight his way out of a dungeon, and whoever does it in the most entertaining way like gets to advance because it's kind of like a reality show. I also just love the cover art, and yeah, very excited to read this one. Next up, I have the first deluxe edition of Berserk. This is by Kentaro Miura, and this is probably the series that I'm going to start reading once I finish One Piece, so it could be a really, really long time. But I did really like these editions, and I wanted to start grabbing them before they go out of stock. I might start reading it first just to like make sure that I like it before I continue buying them. It is also explicit. I know this is a very heavy series, so we shall see how I feel about it. I do just think that these are gorgeous editions, and this is actually like the last book that I purchased myself this month. So like out of everything that I've shown you, I actually only bought 10 books this month, and the rest of them were like books that just I bought in the past and were shipped this month. Then I was so excited when Random House sent me a copy of the reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson. Holly wrote the Good Girls Guide to Murder series, and I just love that series so much. It's so much fun, and I'm so excited to read another thriller from her, especially as the weather is getting warmer. I feel like I often gravitate toward thrillers because they're just such quick, compelling reads, and I know that she does them so well, so I can't wait to check this one out. Then also from Random House, they sent me a copy of Funny Story by Emily Henry. I'm so excited to read this one too. I've loved all of Emily Henry's romance novels, and again, it's so good to have something kind of light to read as the weather's getting warmer. I also particularly like the spine on this one. I think it's so cute, and I'm very excited to add it to my romance bookshelf. And then they also sent me Happy Medium by Sarah Adler. And this one follows someone who is a fake spirit medium, but people believe that she is telling the truth, and she gets hired to go to this farm and to like exorcise it so that there won't be any ghosts there anymore. But the owner and her end up, I guess, falling in love since it's a romance novel. Next up, we have Bride by Ali Hazelwood. This one is one that was done by Afterlight, which is part of Illumicrate. It's their romance subscription, but this one was actually not part of the subscription. It was a one-off sale. It's very different than the other Ali Hazelwood books that they've done, but I do really like it. I think it fits the vibe of the story very well. I'm assuming, since I haven't read it yet. This one is more like fantasy romance. I also got the Owl Crate version. I have not actually taken it out of the packaging just yet because I don't love it. I'm not sure that I'm gonna keep it, and I think I might just list it for sale like as is. Then Afterlight's February book of the month was Fangirl Down by Tessa Bailey. This is a sports romance following a golfer. I am not really a sports romance person. I just don't really like sports that much to begin with, but I do like Tessa Bailey's writing, so I wanted to give this one a shot. These are the sprayed pages, and this is the backing and the spine. Then we have the naked hardcover, the end papers, and this one is signed by Tessa. And this has actually gotten really great reviews, so pretty excited to read it. And then finally, last book in my haul is The Book of Azrael by Amber Nicole. This was the Bookish Box's, gosh, I want to say it was like their October book of the month, and it just came this month. These are the sprayed pages back. I'm really not sure if this is going to be something that I'm going to enjoy, but I'm going to give it a shot and see how I feel. I actually like the naked hardcover a lot better. There is this like fire-breathing dragon on it, which is pretty cool. I am a little hesitant because I do believe that it's like a darker kind of fantasy romance, so just not sure how it's going to go for me, but we'll see. And then this one also has a reverse dust jacket if you didn't like the original on there. So those are all of the books that I got in March. Again, I did such a good job not buying that many this month, but it feels like I ended up with a ton, and it's just because special editions came in. And though, you know what, I say that, and I did do things like back the Words of Radiance Kickstarter. I did back the Michael J. Sullivan Kickstarter, so I definitely did, I guess, buy more. I guess it evens out. I'm just trying to make myself feel better. It is what it is. So those are all the books that I have to share this month. Let me know what you guys think. If there's anything that you think that I should prioritize, I would love to know. But that's all that I have for this video, and I will see you guys soon in a new one. Bye!